Hello there and welcome to the news at 4 with me, Sabina Izuku. Now, President Goodluck Jonathan is about to now lead in the other top government functionaries and service chiefs to lay rate in honor of the soldiers who died in the previous international assignments and the ongoing war against insurgency. The solemn ceremony is taking place at the National Arcade in the Three-Arms Zone in Abuja. The president had on arrival inspected the Guard of Honors and prayers were said for the repose of the souls of the fallen heroes and the peace of the country. The 21-gun salute preceded the wreath-laying ceremony. More details in a subsequent bulletin. The Amnesty International has released satellite images of what it says shows the magnitude of last week's Boko Haram attack on the northeast town of Baga and Durum Baga. The images provide evidence of the scale of insurgent attacks of the two towns, which Nigerian military say left about 150 people dead. To underline the scale of destruction, Amnesty International released before and after images of two neighboring towns, which are approximately 160 kilometers from Maiduguri. Speaking on the satellite pictures, Amnesty researchers in Nigeria, Daniel Ayer, says the detailed images show that one of the towns was almost wiped off the map within 4 days. The images show that over 3,700 structures were damaged or completely destroyed in the two fishing towns in Baga, a densely populated town which is less than 2 square kilometers in size. About 620 structures were damaged or completely destroyed by fire. While in Durumbaga, more than 3,100 structures spread across most of the 4-kilometer town were damaged or destroyed. Amnesty International noted that many fishing boats, which were visible along the shoreline in the images of the 2nd of January, were no longer present in that of January 7th after the attack. It also suggests that images are proofs that death toll could be higher than 150 declared by Nigerian military authorities. And Chad has offered to assist Cameroon fight Boko Haram insurgents. It also wants other countries in the region to make concrete offer of support to the Cameroonians. Chad's government spokesman Hassan Bakari said in a statement that the situation is also a threat to his country. It added that his country is prepared to extend active support in response to an appeal by Cameroon's President Paul Biya for international military help to fight the Islamist group. Presidential candidates, including the incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan and his main challenger Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday, took off time from the campaign trail to sign an agreement on a non-violent electoral process. The ceremony was witnessed by representatives of the international community, including the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. Paul Samuel now reports on the forum, which also attended by key members of the political class.
This is the first time since party primaries that the leading presidential candidates will meet to chart a path towards a peaceful, non-violent election. Leading the campaign is the former UN Secretary General, Kofi Annan. He is confident that Nigeria will get it right, but wants politicians to work for the next generation.
The Global Commission identified 5 challenges to elections with integrity. The first is weak rule of law and weak protection of voters' rights. Second, inadequate electoral management bodies, either because they are insufficiently resourced or incompetent and not independent enough to enjoy public confidence. And another key finding was denial of political opportunity to those who lose, leading to a win and all mentality.
The Independent National Electoral Commission is also optimistic that the country can have a violence-free election. INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega insists that it is only possible if the parties follow the necessary guidelines. Jega also reeled out a number of possible solutions that will help in making elections in Nigeria violence-free.
In a country like Nigeria, where there is what scholars call low level of institutionalization, stakeholders tend to use resources at their control in the contest for political power. And as Samuel Huntington said, the wealthy will bribe, the students will riot, the workers will strike, the mobs will demonstrate, and the military will coup.
When it was time for leading candidates to speak, they expressed a commitment to a peaceful and non-violence process. They, however, have concerns stemming from their experience on the political landscape.
We make statements that are so provocative, and when you are making these statements, the younger ones are listening to you. Your followers who call themselves your fans are listening to you. The threatening, we threaten our opponents. A particular governor came to me and said, look, his colleague, a governor in another party, was threatening that immediately we take over government, you will go to jail. If you now threaten somebody that you will go to jail, if you take over government, that person will want to fight as if he's defending himself from going to jail. So we must, I'm not talking about presidential candidates, I'm talking about our followers.
The impression I hope that I create is for those that have intellectually looked at about the processes of elections in Nigeria. I accept their hope, especially when you look at the Constitution as amended. How INEC comes in as an INEC Act to register political associations into political parties.
The less visible ones were also not left out.
It has been said that the next election is about the youth of this country, which I represent. It's about the next generation, which I represent. By the grace of God, come February 14th, when I become president of Nigeria, I'll be the first next generation president of this country.
Having a permanent voter's card has shown that there is no how anybody can vote more than once. Unlike in the past, where some people will have over 40,000 ballot papers.
The event was witnessed by representatives of the international community, which also facilitated the process, as well as key leaders of Nigeria's leading political parties. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Now, the late arrival of the General Muhammadu Buhari and the campaign team of the All Progressive Congress presidential candidates, notwithstanding the enthusiasm of the party faithful who thronged the Osogbo City Stadium to witness the Osun State leg of the presidential campaign of Nigeria's main opposition party for the February 14, 2015 general election, did not wane. Leaders of the party canvassed for the votes of Osun people, with their campaign hanged on three main points of stopping corruption, boosting the economy, and reducing poverty in Nigeria. Rashid has more.
The patience of party faithfuls who have arrived at the Osogbo City Stadium venue of the presidential campaign attests to the fact that the All Progressives Congress still holds sway in Osun State. Having been the only state in southwest Nigeria to defeat Jonathan in 2011 and its subsequent elections, leaders of the party who spoke say the feat is ready to be repeated at the February presidential election.
Nigerians are truly ready to embrace change. So it's a wind of change that is blowing across the entire country.
Nobody in 10 years before now ever thought Nigeria would come to this level. If Jonathan went on air to say that you cannot stop theft of oil in Nigeria, it's related to corruption, but you must address it to show that it must be that. Sorry for using that word. It must have lost its senses. So as an head of state, for you to say that you cannot fight oil theft.
The Director General of the campaign team and Governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, thanked the people for their patience, but enjoined them to get their permanent voter card in order to effect the change needed. For the Governor of Osun, Rauf Aregbesola, his message was that of porting from what he described as good luck to a better and best luck.
If you have not voted your BBC is permanent voter's card.
INEC say no voting if you don't have it. Yes. Just go now and collect your PVC. On that day, punish these thieves. Punish who? Punish them by taking your card and voting them out.
So Nigeria will those ordinary lock anymore. We want best lock.
For the presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari, the tripod manifesto of the party makes his campaign point as he promises to fight corruption, improve economy, and make insecurity a thing of the past if elected.
The question of unemployment, we are going to turn to agriculture and mining that will absorb the large body of everybody, both educated and uneducated, that have no jobs. Our business in APC is to secure and efficiently manage this country. And with the will of God, we are going to succeed.
Observers say Osun State may have been seeded for the APC, but stressed that politics is a dynamic game that may change at any given time. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
Progressive Congress in Lagos State has kick-started its campaign for the 2015 governorship election with a mega rally for the Lagos West Senatorial District at the Sky Park ground in Ikeja. Patience Ajiboye's report is presented from our studio.
Lagosians turned out en masse at the presentation of Akinwumi Ambode, Lagos governorship candidate, and his running mate Olunoti Adebule. Speaking at the rally, APC's national leader and former governor of Lagos, Bola Tinubu, says he is proud that his successor has performed well in his administration. He also thanked members of the All Progressives Congress family who did not clinch the party's governorship ticket at the primaries. He refers to President Goodluck Jonathan as a man of perpetual excuses and says it is no wonder that he admitted the failure of his administration.
A straightforward Nigerian, a bold Nigerian, an honest Nigerian. Every time a nation must need a special leader at the time of its trial. Nigeria is going through the trial now of choosing the wrong person in 2011. A person of great excuses.
Outgoing Governor Babatunde Fashola thanked everyone for their support and implored all to exercise their franchise come February 14 and vote for the APC in all the elections. He says INEC does not have any power to infringe on the right to franchise of any eligible voter, whether or not they have collected their PVC.
Your right to vote, is not a gift by any government. Listen to me. Your right to vote is not a gift of any government. It is a right that you have as a citizen in any part of the world where democracy is practiced. So, whether INEC give you PVC or they give you TVC, INEC is just helping to do a job that is yours as of right. On election day, you will be entitled to vote, and nobody, let me repeat, nobody can stop you from exercising your right to vote.
Party's governorship candidate Akinwumi Ambode says he is up for the service to Lagosians, irrespective of their tribe, religion, or creed, adding that continuity of excellence is his goal, while also encouraged Lagosians to vote for Muhammadu Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo. He promised to be accountable to all Lagosians if voted into office like the accountant that he is.
Lagos is a cosmopolitan state. Be you Igbo, be you African, be you Hausa, be you Yoruba, APC will stand for you. We have been doing it for the last 16 years. And that's what we want to continue to do. We want to continue that tradition of excellence.
As political parties continue with their campaigns, the electorate will make the decision come polling day.
Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje urges Lagosians to be united, not to allow religion divide them and the state. Agbaje made this comment at the interactive session with the Muslim community of Lagos State. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there and brought back this report.
The third interactive session by the Muslim community in Lagos State focuses on education, justice delivery, good governance, and religious affairs. In his address, Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje, switching between Yoruba and English languages, said the beauty of Lagos State is the unity among the people.
Anybody must pray on the family to be Christian, the same way. Our Creole is the family to be Muslim. But I think what is fundamental is that for Lagos, we should not allow religion to divide us.
The lead discussants of the Muslim society highlights the areas that they want the next administration to give utmost importance, stating the hijab issue as one of the points.
We want to live in a state where the religious conviction of everyone will be respected.
Of issue of hijab, that is the health cover for Muslim women and children, not only women, because they are claiming that only the adults can put on hijab, not only not the minors in secondary school. And our religion taught us that we should teach and impart this in our children from their childhood, not only when they grow up.
The issue is that we as Muslims in Lagos State, we want judiciary system in Lagos State to include Islamic law pertaining to resolution of disputes on Islamic personal matters.
The act of governance is supposed to be done with policies that will be named people's policy. We can build so many infrastructures, if you don't have the right personnel that are well trained. That will lead to my second issue, which has to do with human capital development of our people. Those infrastructures are meaningless to the people.
Reacting to these issues, Jimmy Agbaje says changes must be done to bring progress to the state. Also making a point on the issue of hijab, says it will be a collective duty of the parents and the society as well as the government.
We are ready to support the use of hijab, but you also have a role to play, and I'm giving you the role that you need to play more than you are doing at the moment, that you can be more responsive to your issues, the market women, the civil servants, the youth, and all.
The PDP governorship candidate says his administration will govern Lagos the best way. Religions will be respected and there will be no discrimination between them if he is voted for. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We'll just take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the hour continues. Just stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on a social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News, and on our Twitter @CoreTV News NG. For other programs, you can join us on our youtube.com/CoreTV Live Space and the news. The Edo State Police Commissioner Folusho Adebajo has charged all stakeholders in the state to work towards ensuring a free, fair and violent-free election. Folusho Adebajo spoke at the interactive session at the command headquarters in Benin City. Our correspondent filed in this report.
The Rati section had representatives from the ruling political party in the state, APC, with opposition parties such as the PDP, Labour Party, Accord, and the UNPP also present. Some parties were absent, although the police authorities say invitations were sent to major parties participating ahead of the 2015 elections. But beyond political parties who were in attendance, representatives from Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, the Muslims, civil society, National Youth Council, and other faith-based organizations and the security services were present. The police commissioner, however, said that 2015 is critical to the growth and sustenance of our democracy.
Basically, we want to discuss some issues that are central to the success of the 2015 general elections and the roles expected of both the security agencies, political parties, candidates, and their supporters to ensure a violence-free election. The 2015 general elections are planned. The stakeholder interactive meeting will among things focus on the following. 1. Reappraisal of our security strategy towards non-violent campaigns and free and fair elections.
The meeting, however, rose with a charge to politicians to desist from making unguarded statements capable of overheating the polity.
The use of provocative statements during campaigns likely to whip up religious, ethnic, or other sentiments, which could result in breakdown of law and order, must be avoided.
The newly posted Presidential Electoral Commissioner Mike Igine says INEC will continue to engage all stakeholders to ensure that the nation's democracy is sustained with the peaceful 2015 general elections.
A continuation and more of engagement of all stakeholders on the need to have attitude shifts, confidence established, and understanding of the role of all of us in order to keep our democracy ever young, conveyed. I thank you for this.
He, however, urged all electorates and the various candidates to abide by the electoral status so the future generations will be happy that the right thing was done.
Away from that, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested 3 suspected internet fraudsters in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, over the 806 million naira scam. The trial of Opekere Timothy and Stanley Ojihiri and Terminal Caro are said to be part of the syndicate who conspired to steal the amount from one of the new generation banks. The EFCC says 40 others are still at large. It disclosed that the theft was perpetrated through a system glitch linked to the fraudsters, in which the bank suffered a huge loss of more than 806 million naira 208,000. The petitioner, who works in one of the new generation banks, alleged that a review of transactions involving the bank with InterSwitch Nigeria Limited revealed that the bank was not reimbursed for the transactions consummated on ATM terminals. He observed that while many of the transactions involved were failed transactions, the amounts involved were not reversed, and all the customers were seen to have withdrawn the cash amounting to the sum on each day of the occasion it happened. The FCC has so far confiscated an uncompleted 59-room self-contained hostel, a twin bungalow in O'Hara, Delta State, 1 uncompleted hotel project, and 1 bungalow with a swimming pool in Ughelli. Others are a bungalow in Agbaru, also in Delta State, 1 Toyota Venza 2010 model, 2 Toyota Solara cars 2010 model, 2 Toyota Camry cars 2010 model, and 2 Honda Accord cars 2005 model. The Commission plans to arraign the suspects in court as soon as the investigations are completed. And that wraps up the news on the hour. To join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabina Zoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.